and that was what was told to us would never happen. And when the doctor told me that night, I said, you know, how can you make a statement like that that she will never talk? He said, I've done 1,000 brain surgeries. She's not going to talk. He said, she may be able to form some English words, but you'll never have a conversation with her again. It was that much of a slap in the face for me, or hitting a brick wall for me, and it was very discouraging. But somehow that's where our miracle started. We had been told also by Denver Health that each day when she was ready to get into rehab, each day that we did not get her into rehab, she would fall back potentially a week in recovery. So the urge to get her into a nice facility and a strong facility was just paramount for us. And most of y'all probably heard of Craig Rehab, which is very, very famous there in Denver. We went there first. They said, we've got a 3-week wait. You're not going to get in here for 3 weeks. Well, we went across town and we developed a family away from our family in Spalding.
I'm actually glad that I was put in Spalding, because they're so knowledgeable. They specialize in traumatic brain injuries, but they're also really personal. So that was the one place where I didn't feel like a number on the page. As a matter of fact, it was interesting because they also always had somebody sitting in my room at night to watch over me, and they had to keep changing whoever was there with me, because I was there for many months, because they got too close to me. And they did that where it was more like being with family, and now they really are, because I would say the majority of them have incorporated themselves in our equine therapy.
And they're at our house most of the summer barbecuing, and a lot of Kate's therapists, they're just, like I said, they're family. And you'll see something here that's pretty predominant throughout the rest of our speech here, is a predominant thing with smile. And with Kate's smile, I think it was another huge reason why she recovered like she did. It was that attitude and work ethic. And even when it was really tough here with her neck brace, she'd always try to make the best out of it. And that's what we've heard from the caretakers, from the medical staff, and all of her therapists is, you know, this girl, not only did she want to get out of here, she wanted to get back on a horse, but not only that, but a really positive attitude, I think, is what put us to the top as far as her recovery and rehab. So this is our first Christmas in California with her folks, and you can see Kate got a haircut, so she made me shave my head, so that was my deal for our Christmas gift back and forth. After the rehab, we went back in search of our dream property, and we found it, and we were really blessed with having the ingredients that we needed for the children, the facility for our horses, and also just having the views. So we had passed the place about 10 times because we couldn't afford it, but one day, I guess fortunately, we drove on there, and Kate with her helmet and her cane walked up to the edge of the property. And, you know, we're checking out these unbelievable views, and then they wanted to walk around the property. They said, no, let's go in the house. And myself, my main business is lending, so banking and dealing with realtors. So I'm really downplaying this thing. First of all, I couldn't afford it. The second thing is I'm not interested in this property, playing the salesman. Kate, when she left the realtors and myself in the kitchen, I could hear her in different rooms. Now I'm changing this, I'm changing that, I'm like, Kate, we don't like this place. So as y'all know, when you're negotiating, that's not the best thing to...
Well, and they even asked us, they wanted to take us around all over the property. And I said, well, go ahead, Shawn, I got to keep designing what I'm going to do when we move in.
So she's designed this place. I don't know if we'll ever have it paid off, but our entrance there, we kind of put a little bit of our signature on there with the Western font and the horses, and just kind of made it welcoming to a lot of our guests. So if you ever make it up to Golden, that's what you'll see when you come in the gate. We'd love to open up the invitation to see what we can do with children and what the horses can do and make a huge impact. This is our first good year, we call it, with our first horse, Bones. And Kate, not only did she pass her driving course, which, as a lot of you know, with people that have had a brain injury, you don't just go back to the DMV and get a driver's license. Spalding put her through the ringer, they're like, okay, when we're driving, use your turn signals, this and that. Every convenience store we pass, you have to blurt out loud, Stop and Go or 7-Eleven. So they put that on her just to see if her brain's operating correctly. And a lot of you probably know that with getting a driver's license again after a brain injury, it's not easy.
Well, and one of my therapists was giving, and he was a passenger, and he said nothing. He was so quiet. And I looked at him and I said, have I done something wrong? And he goes, no, you're doing everything great, except kind of floating through that stop sign back there. And I went, wasn't that normal?
So Kate passed it with flying colors.